Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 335 of My Hero Academia. Man, this was a pretty chill chapter. We're coming down from the Stars and Stripes fight, and yeah, we're just kind of getting a feeling of what's going on in the world, the stakes, and some buildup and prep. So I'm excited to get into that. This isn't my normal shooting location. It was Thanksgiving, and I wanted to visit a friend of mine before the day was up, and I ended up staying here. So luckily, I was able to bring my camera and stuff. So yeah. If this is your first time on my channel, please like and subscribe. Would mean the world to me. Would help me out with the YouTube algorithm, making sure that other people see me, as well as the fact that, if I start getting more subscribers and more viewers, I can start taking this a lot more serious, start investing in better equipment, start putting in way more time into this, because at the end of the day, this is something I'm truly excited about doing, and I just want to really focus on it. And I need people to do that. So join my League of Otaku. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the review. So chapter 335, Fledgling. This was a pretty chill chapter. Nothing really special happened until the very end where an old plot point was brought back up. So I'm excited to talk about that. But first, let's start from the beginning. We have All Might basically talking to the students and letting them know what's going on with the situation. Where basically he's just briefing them on everything that's happening and what we're planning on doing from here. We're told that Shigaraki has suffered a tremendous injury. Basically, he's going to be out of commission for quite some time. And while this does seem like the moment to strike, it actually is not. So we let me continue on the Shigaraki front, or AKA new All for One. So they could tell from the data that they were given by the pilots that once he took New Order seemed to act as like a virus in his body and destroyed a massive stockpile of works that All for One had built up. So that's really good for us. However, it's bittersweet because we realize that we got that at the exchange of Star's life. So unfortunately, bittersweet. However, we have the two students ask, hey, wouldn't this be a great time for us to counterattack? Which to that, we realize that, half the heroes have quit. And then we have the other half still prioritizing evacuating civilians and helping out civilians, doing search and rescues and whatnot. So even at this time, even though All for One is handicapped, so are the heroes. And then on top of that, we find out that there are still an assortment of active villains out there. We have, you know, once Shigaraki is healed up, he's going to be a huge threat. We still have the real body of All For One, which, by the way, I'm so glad this chapter clarified. I don't know what I was doing, or if I was not paying attention, or if I sped read somewhere, but like I was super lost about what was going on with All For One, and like, did they fuse? And then like I kept hearing like he's gonna be ready now, at this time, but like he was already fighting at this time. So I'm glad we got some clarification there. We have Dabi, we have Himiko, we have at least six near high end Nomu, and we know that like the Nomu that like All For One fought, sorry, not All For All Might fought, wasn't even high end. So yeah, we have six near high end Nomu to still deal with. And on top of that, we have the remnants of the Liberation Front. So we have a lot of shit going on outside of All For One that we're going to have to take care of. And we're told that, no matter what, there is an all out war approaching. So this is really, really getting serious. So basically, All Might tells them, hey, we're going to lay low while we're getting everything together and while we're preparing to engage in this war. You guys need to hunker down and train, which clearly rubbed all of 1A the wrong way. because it's just one of those moments where like it feels like a parent is telling you to do something, but that parent hasn't been in your life, so they don't really know what you've been up to or what you've been doing. And so I get that feeling here because immediately they're like, that's what we've been doing. We've been fucking doing this the whole time. You've been running off with Deku. By the way, no offense to Deku, we love that dude, but you wouldn't know what we've been doing. You've popped in and out from time to time. But for the most part, you've been running out supporting Deku, and we have been doing exactly what you're asking us to do. We're ready. We've been training, yada blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And so I actually really appreciated that moment because that's pretty much all Might has ever told them. All right, guys, train. All right, guys, train. All right, guys, train. And it's gotten to a point where it's like, we're ready. Now, are they still top? Are they top tier heroes yet? No, but it's going to require actual real world, real life experience, which a lot of them have got through their internships, and all of them have their pro hero license. They've been superheroing, they've been doing it, and it's time for them not to be coddled so much. Do I think they should be thrown out and sent against the top tier villains immediately? No, but just to keep them kind of camped and just doing the same old. I agree with them. That's not the move anymore. It's time to put them into preparation. It kind of reminds me of like in Harry Potter towards the end when we get to like Dumbledore's army, where like technically yes, they're still students, but they've gone through so much. They've overcome so much. They've interacted with the likes of Voldemort. Like, yes, they're kids, but at a certain point you have to treat them with the degree of respect that they have honestly earned and fought for. So I really appreciate them standing up for themselves. Also, you get this like air of indignance and disrespect from the students in terms of the fact that they legitimately seem annoyed that Deku has been the main focus of all the heroes. Like, yeah, we get it. We understand that he has one for all, and like, he has All Might's power, and he's All Might's, disciple and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I've said this in my like reviews, I think like 10 reviews ago. We are heroes too. We do this shit too. We signed up for this shit too. Yeah, we don't have your quirk, but we have some pretty awesome quirks. Also, is it not you guys that told us that like, a hero can't do things alone? A hero can't do things by themselves? Like, why are you only focusing on Deku? Why are you trying to put all of this burden on Deku? I love the part where they're like, we have been prepared this entire time to fight alongside Midoriya. You even have I always forget her name for some reason. The chick that reminds me of an alien with the like slime powers. Like even she's pouting after they say something like this because they're like, yeah, you guys have completely neglected us as students. It's like in school and you have that the valedictorian, your favorite student or whatever, and like the rest of the students are like, all right, cool, we get it, but like, we're important too. And that's kind of the sense that I'm getting. And then I think, All Might realizes in this moment kind of how unfair he's been and how neglectful he's been. So yeah, I truly think this was a necessary moment. I also love the fact, I love the part where Midoriya speaks up. He's like, yeah, man, everyone's working hard. Kachan even said that he's going to make, one for all the best. And then Kachan's immediately like, I never said that. I never said that. And then the part that blows me the most is the fourth wall somewhat tease when the dude's like, all that character development down the drain. Like, oh, this is that part of My Hero Academia that, is just so nice and so heartwarming and stuff like that, while maintaining its seriousness, but obviously still being a shonen. So yeah, man, All Might's just standing there just taking it all in. That like I said, once again, like that parent that doesn't realize that their child is grown until like there's an actual display of that, and he just hears them all being like, yeah, let's go train. Yeah, I'll never forgive him for what he did to Star and Stripe. One was super sus. He's like, I'll get way harder. We all know who that is, but still Red Riot. But like that was a little bit sus. but yeah, it was so dope. And so at this moment, All Might's just like, wow, these kids have really grown. They've endured every, trial, tribulation, this arduous journey that they've been on. Like, you have to think about day one when they first came in and like who they were when they first started. A lot of them had a lot of promise, and then some of the weaker ones weren't so cool. But now like everyone is a hero in their own right, and we're all starting to see that like this right here is the future generation. So yeah, Class 1A is strong, and with them, we possibly have a chance at combating these villainous forces. And we can't even forget about the other schools and their top classmates, as well as I'm wondering if we'll get any kind of introduction to the vigilantes of this world, because honestly, now that we're missing about half of the heroes, and another large percentage of the heroes are out and about, doing humanitarian missions. We could use all the help we can get, and I would really like there to be an introduction to the vigilantes, because obviously this isn't the vigilante series that he's writing, but they do exist in this world, and it's kind of crazy that we haven't run into them at all yet, and we have rarely talked about them. So yeah. Anyway, we transition over to the layer of the villains, and Shigaraki is in pain. He is suffering tremendously. Right now, all I can think about, besides the pain, is getting vengeance on All Might. And, All for One is just there, like, other me, calm down. The difference between me and you is I think things through. I have, a plethora of plans. We're similar in that we have a singular goal, but unlike you, I have many paths to approach that goal. And I like that ideology. One of my favorite games, because it's super basic and simple, is Connect 4. I love Connect 4 because, it's a simple, I'll same with Tic Tac Toe. It's a very simple, mundane game. An idiot could play it. But I love playing it because when I put down a piece, I'm not trying to connect for that piece I'm putting down. I'm not trying to make, set up another. I literally, when I play Connect 4, I every time I play a piece, I'm trying to win in at bare minimum 4 different locations. Bare minimum 4. Bare minimum 4. So even if this part gets blocked, even if this part gets blocked, I'm gonna beat you somewhere. Or I distract you with all this stuff I'm doing over here. You think I'm trying to build something over here, when the whole time I've secretly been trying to do something at the very, very, very end that you never would have seen because you've been so focused on this. And so I like to think that's how All for One is with this entire thing. So this whole time he's talking about their differences, he says the main difference between me and you, Toya, is that I have friends. And then we see a panel with none other than what's your name? Tora. Long story short, she's the invisible chick. And I want to make a joke. I would be remiss at missing the irony of, I didn't see that coming. I really like the fact that, like, it seems intentionally done. It seems like the mangaka did that just so, like, we could all make the joke of, wow, I didn't see that coming. She's the invisible chick has been a relatively uninteresting a relatively uninteresting person. Really hasn't really done much in the series. Hasn't been that beneficial. The really only thing I remember from her is the fact that she only got into 1A because she was able to sneak up on the machines, turn them off. I remember her doing the cheerleading thing during the festival. But other than that, I don't remember much. I think I remember in one of my reviews when Class 1A was fighting to get Deku back to UA, the fact that I was kind of upset that she wasn't there. I was like, I don't believe I saw the invisible girl. Actually, she might have been there. I forget. But for her to be the villain, I don't have many thoughts about it. Like, I'm not mad and I'm not happy about it. It's not a moment where I'm like mad because what? There's no way that she would betray them. And there's no thought here where it's like, oh man, yeah, I like that. I definitely could see that because she's really done nothing. She's always been in the background, and I guess that makes an even bigger, more rational reason why she is the traitor. Like, of anyone to be the traitor, it makes sense it's her because of how uninvolved she's been. But it's just a really weird place to be, and I feel I don't want to be this douchebag that like criticizes the mangaka and tries to tell him like what he should do. Because I was saying, remember earlier when I was like, I really hope that Star and Stripe doesn't just show up here, does something really cool, but inevitably dies, and then All for One gets her quirk, and literally she was just relegated to a plot device, a plot point. I'm nervous that this is kind of along the same lines where she's going to betray All for One because, of the bonds she's made at UA. Like, I know this is a shonen, but like, and I love tropes. I love when tropes are done, but I think that they should be done, uniquely, right? Like, just because something has been done before doesn't mean you can't put your own twist or spin on it. And I would be really annoyed if it was a situation where, you know, All for One's about to win and she just has a change of heart because of the power of friendship and she decides to betray him. But at the same part, I'm like, all right, why would she be a traitor to her classmates? Maybe, All for One knows something that, the main characters don't. Maybe he's holding her family hostage. But the reason I don't think that is he explicitly says, I have friends. I have friends. So I'm wondering if it's a matter of, is this the real Torah? Is this the real invisible chick? Because honestly, how would we know? She's been invisible. We've never ever once seen her. She's been invisible the entirety. She's been invisible the entirety of the thing. So maybe she could have been kidnapped. Her quirk could have been taken, put in someone else. Or simply, or she might not even be. It's funny. This could be hilarious. She might not even be like a teenager. She'd be a grown ass woman pretending to be, a high schooler because once again, who would see her? So this is very interesting. I also like the panel where the mangaka said, "I'm only gonna have like one opportunity to do this," and draws her, and you get like some slight like nipple. Let me look right here. Yeah, you see some invisible cleavage, and he's getting away with it. But yeah, man. What do you guys think? Do you guys truly think she's the traitor? Do you think she's under duress and she has to obey him? Once again, he clearly says he has a lot of friends. He didn't say accomplices. Like he said friends. He didn't say allies or something like that. So I'm very, very curious if she actually is a traitor. If she is a traitor, the reasoning behind her being a traitor, and if she's going to follow through with being a traitor. And also, what role is she going to play in being a traitor? How is she going to help him? Because at the end of the day, her power is not that great. I mean, besides espionage, which she did well, kudos to her. What is she going to be able to do? Maybe she can sabotage their equipment. Maybe she can get in places. Maybe she can mess some things up. But fight wise, I just don't see it. And I think that there's numerous ways for various heroes to like find her. Like if they're fighting her and they're like, oh no, I can't see her. I just think like you could throw slime everywhere. He could use his smoke screen. Todoroki can freeze up the room. Like there's just so many ways to fight her. So I'm just very curious as to where this is gonna go. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the review here for now. Really interesting chapter. Not much happened, but I'm glad that the dangling plot point of the traitor at UA has been brought up. And I'm very excited to see where we go from here. I'm excited to see the moves that the villains make, and I'm excited to see the moves that the heroes make. And more so, I'm excited to see the evolution that the students of Class 1A have made. How they're able to fight their new abilities, their new moves, how they've mastered their power. I want to see this cluster ability that Bakugo is talking about. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here for now. Thank you guys for watching. It means the world to me. I know I say that all the time, but like you guys have no clue. It really does mean the world to me that there are at least a handful of people out there watching. Even more so that there are a handful of people that repeatedly come to watch me every week. I know I am excited that I've gotten to that point. So thank you guys so much. This has been Otaku Talk with your host, OD. Take care. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.